88% of potential buyers are as likely to trust a review written by one of your existing users as they are to trust a recommendation made by their own family and friends. Isn't that amazing? The only problem is the majority of your users are unlikely to leave a review. Unless you do something about it, less than 1% of users will. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to get more reviews coming in and make them good reviews and make the whole process automated. Hi, I'm Z from Freemius, and this is where we share our tips and best practices on selling WordPress plugins and themes. If this is your first time with us, feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell to get an update on further releases. So you own an awesome WordPress plugin or theme that does something that's actually pretty amazing. And you've also figured out a great way to make sure it gets noticed. But no matter how many people know about your product, at that very moment when a user decides if they want to go with your product or the competition, they'll need that extra bit of reassurance to make sure they're not making a mistake. This is where reviews and testimonials come in, showing them previous users' opinions about your product. So suppose you've just launched your WordPress plugin or theme and your goal is now to bring in the very first reviews. One way to move forward is to think of 5 people in your network who would love the product, personally ask them to test it out, and share the feedback. Sometimes this is the most effective route simply because people tend to feel more committed when responding to a request that is personal. Another way of bringing in your product's first reviews is by asking your beta users. People willing to test out a beta version of your product will often also be open to giving you feedback if you ask them for it. Once your product is up and running with a solid user base, you can focus your efforts on existing users. And one of the best moments to ask for feedback is when you give them support. Users who are happy with the support they get are far more likely to give you a good review. And based on how committed they are, you can ask them to leave it on WordPress.org or give you permission to post it on your site. To further increase the amount of reviews coming in, you should consider automating the process by triggering messages to users based on events. According to testing we've conducted at Freemius, automating feedback has proven to be a game changer when properly set up. From our experience, it's important to be mindful where and when you ask for the review, the tone of the request, and how easy it is to review. So bear with me if you want to make reviews pour in like rain. Where? The common places to ask for reviews are in your WordPress admin dashboard using an admin notification or an email request. Both of these are locations users get to on a day-to-day basis, so it increases the chances they'll be noticed. When? A key to getting good reviews from users is good timing. Not every user will give you awesome feedback at any given moment, so make sure you set the request to a moment when users are most likely to be happy with your product, like when they achieve something new thanks to using it. For example, if your plugin is used for booking online events, try automating a message that congratulates them when they sell a certain amount of tickets and then ask for a review on your product. You can automate this process by adding a value-based trigger that adds a notice in the WP admin dashboard when users reach a predetermined milestone. For paid products, it's a pretty common practice to automate the review requests by sending users an email a short period after activation. But if you do so, just make sure you don't send it to users who've uninstalled your product, and also don't send it to those who've asked for a refund. I think that getting people to react is far easier when you let them know there's an actual person behind the message, so presenting the request for feedback as a way of helping you out or as a way of helping you spread the word is going to generate far better results. Make it easy! Also, make it easy. If what you're looking for is a review on the repo, put a link to the repo's review form in the request so users are just a click away from submitting it. Also, if you want to collect a testimonial after someone purchases your product, you can embed a review form right inside the email, allowing them to submit it without even leaving their mailbox. So, to sum this up, an awesome automated review collection mechanism will trigger a review request in a personal tone via email or the WP admin dashboard whenever a user experiences success with your product, and it will be extremely easy to submit. If you found this information useful, stay tuned for our upcoming video, because in our next video, I'm going to show you what makes a review extremely effective and how to leverage reviews in your marketing efforts, communicating a message to your target audience. As usual, feel free to subscribe and catch you on the next video.